Ashley opened that folder Grayson left behind. I swear the entire energy of the episode changed, like somebody sucked all the oxygen out of the room. 1 second I was sitting there thinking, okay, more plasma evidence, more shady blood trafficking stuff, whatever. And then bam, absolute psychological warfare. And Ashley knew it too. You know those moments where somebody reads something and their whole face just dies? That was Ashley. Her hand shaking, eyes frozen, Naomi staring at her like, tell me right now what you just saw. I literally felt my stomach drop. I had to pause the episode. I'm not even joking. I got up, walked to the kitchen, came back with cold coffee that already tasted terrible, and somehow the episode got even worse. Because Project Lazarus? Excuse me? That name alone sounds evil. Like comic book villain evil? And the way the files described it, plasma wasn't just moving plasma illegally. No, that would have been too simple for these psychopaths. They were experimenting on missing patients, human beings, people who vanished for years, people whose families probably thought they ran away or died. And the entire time, this corporation was treating them like lab rats. I actually got chills reading those scenes. But then Leah's name appears as financial supervisor. I knew it. I knew that woman was dirty. I don't care how calm she talks or how polished she looks every time she's on screen acting morally superior. Something about Leah has always felt off to me. Too controlled, too careful, like she rehearses every emotion before speaking. And now we find out she's connected financially to Project Lazarus? Yeah. No, you don't accidentally end up on paperwork like that. But here's the crazy part. I don't even think Leah is the real villain anymore. That's what destroyed my brain during this episode. Because the writers pulled the rug out from under everyone. Naomi immediately assumes Jacob betrayed them after they find those surveillance photos. And honestly, for a second I did too. I literally yelled, "Oh my God, Jacob, no," at my screen like an insane person. Because the photos looked bad. Jacob entering a plasma facility months ago, secretly, without telling anybody, that is not a good look. But Ashley noticed something Naomi didn't. And this is why Ashley quietly became the smartest person in the room during this entire episode. Every single photo showed Jacob being watched by the same man. Black gloves, always nearby, always observing. That detail matters. That means Jacob probably wasn't working with plasma willingly. He was either undercover or trapped. And honestly, the idea that Jacob has been trying to investigate this from inside while everyone slowly loses trust in him absolutely breaks me. Because now I'm thinking about all his weird behavior lately. The distance, the secrecy, the exhaustion. This man has probably been drowning for months. And nobody noticed. Or maybe Grayson noticed. God, Grayson. Can we talk about that video for a second? Because I genuinely think that was one of the most horrifying scenes this show has ever done. Not because of gore or violence, because of fear. Real fear. Ashley pulling the USB out of the spine of the folder already had me nervous. Like, why hide it there unless you think somebody's going to kill you? And the second the video started, I swear I stopped breathing along with them. Grayson looked terrible, covered in blood, panicking, looking over his shoulder every 2 seconds, his voice cracking. Not TV drama, fake scared. I mean, genuinely terrified. Like a man who already knows he's dead. If you're watching this, I don't have much time left. Are you kidding me? I got full body chills. And then he says, plasma is hiding the real mastermind behind everything. At this point, I'm already screaming internally because I'm thinking maybe it's some politician or some billionaire donor or whatever. But no. The show goes even darker. The photo he reveals is someone they trusted, someone publicly against plasma. That twist changed everything, because now all those anti-plasma speeches, the public outrage, the interviews, it might have all been theater, manufactured opposition, a fake enemy controlling both sides. That is terrifying. And honestly, that's realistic too. The people screaming the loudest about corruption are sometimes the ones hiding the deepest secrets. That hit me hard. And suddenly, Leah looks less like a queen pin and more like a disposable pawn, which honestly makes her more interesting. Because imagine realizing you devoted your life to protecting monsters who would sacrifice you instantly. I actually started wondering if Leah herself is scared. Like maybe she tried to leave. Maybe she knows too much now. Maybe that's why everybody connected to plasma keeps acting paranoid and unstable. But the Naomi reveal, yeah, no, that destroyed me emotionally. I was not prepared for the DNA results. A patient listed as dead, biologically related to Naomi, her brother, her supposedly dead brother. I swear Naomi's breakdown felt painfully real. Not dramatic TV crying. It was that numb kind of grief where your body stops functioning properly because your brain can't process the information fast enough. And suddenly, everything about Naomi's storyline makes sense. Why plasma kept watching her. Why certain people acted nervous around her family. Why doors kept mysteriously closing whenever she got close to the truth. Her family wasn't accidentally connected to this case. They were targeted from the beginning. Do you understand how horrifying that is? That means Naomi's entire life might have been shaped by this conspiracy without her knowing. Every memory becomes questionable after that. Every family story, every accident, every disappearance. And I keep thinking about her parents. Did they know? Because if they knew her brother survived somehow and said nothing, oh my God, that changes everything. But if they didn't know, that's even crueler. Imagine mourning your child for years while some organization secretly used him for experiments. I can't even type that without getting angry again. And then right when Ashley tries to call Jacob, the text message, I physically sat forward. Don't trust Grayson. The file was altered. Jacob is in a trap. What does that even mean? That message completely shattered the remaining certainty I had. Because now we have 3 possibilities and all of them are horrible. 1, Grayson lied intentionally. 2, somebody manipulated the files before Ashley found them. Or 3, Grayson himself was manipulated and didn't even realize it. Honestly, that third possibility scares me most because Grayson looked sincere in that video. Terrified, yes, but sincere. So if the information is fake, somebody fed him lies on purpose, which means the mastermind isn't just covering tracks anymore. They're controlling the narrative itself. And Jacob being in a trap sounds very specific. Not dead, not captured, in a trap, meaning somebody wants him there, which immediately made me think the entire folder was bait. A setup designed to push Ashley and Naomi into making emotional decisions. Maybe the villain knew Ashley would call Jacob. Maybe they're tracing phones. Maybe they're watching the apartment already. And then the lights go out. I literally whispered, "No, no, 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 no," at my screen. That scene was so simple, but so effective. No dramatic music. No jump scare immediately. Just darkness and footsteps. Slow footsteps outside the apartment door. That's the kind of horror I love, because your imagination becomes worse than anything they could show visually. I was sitting there imagining Naomi crying silently while Ashley tries not to panic. The phone screen glowing in the dark. Both of them realizing somebody might have been watching them the entire time. Honestly, Ashley impressed me this episode more than anyone else. She was scared out of her mind, but she kept thinking logically, observing details, questioning assumptions. Naomi was understandably emotional after the DNA reveal, but Ashley stayed sharp. And that's dangerous because smart people in this show do not survive long. I also cannot stop thinking about the man with the black gloves. There's something symbolic there. Almost like he represents the organization itself. Clean hands, hidden identity, always present but never noticed. I swear if that guy turns out to be connected to the public anti-plasma figure, I'm going to lose my mind. And here's my prediction going forward. I think Jacob intentionally disappeared or will protect Naomi. I think Grayson discovered the truth too late. I think Leah is going to panic because she realizes she's expendable. And I think Naomi's brother is still alive. Yes, I said it. I do not believe the dead patient story anymore. Not after this episode. If plasma experimented on missing people, then death records mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. Naomi's brother could be alive somewhere under another identity. Altered physically. Drugged. Hidden. Can you imagine that reunion? Or worse? Can you imagine if he's working for plasma now after years of manipulation? Oh my God. This show is becoming terrifying in the best way possible because nobody knows who to trust anymore. Every alliance feels fake. Every emotional moment feels weaponized. Even Grayson's warning might be a lie. And the scariest part? The real villain still hasn't fully revealed themselves. Which means everything we've seen so far might only be the surface. And those footsteps outside the apartment? Yeah. Something tells me Ashley and Naomi are about to learn that the hard way.